Two best friends are fighting for the heart of one lady. Who will she choose? Stick with me, guys, and let's find out together. Hey guys, today we bring you another banger that will keep you at the edge of your seat. But before we dive in, I'm sure you need something to cool off. So why don't you grab a snack as you sit down to watch this masterpiece? And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more captivating movies from us. The story kicks off with two young handsome men, Lorenzo and William. Both were seen at a gathering where a heated meeting was going on, and the two teams were challenged on who was going to win the contract. Meanwhile, we meet a young lady named Hawa, who was rounding up her project when her superior forcefully collected her hard work, claiming it was hers since she had given Hawa the job in the first place. Back at William's office, his PA came in to meet him, but William's mind was fully focused on winning the contract. He made her prepare all the necessary arrangements to secure the deal. Meanwhile, at Lorenzo's office, he was reviewing his team's work, but wasn't impressed at all. Then one of the ladies suggested he check her own drawing. Lorenzo looked at it and was extremely impressed, praising her and even promising her something for it, without knowing she wasn't the one who actually did the work. At home, Hawa was working on her laptop when her friend Rose came in with a drink to keep her company as they chatted away. That same day, Lorenzo came downstairs and met his sister, who was more concerned about getting revenge on William for what he had done to her. As she stood up to set the table, Lorenzo noticed a bottle with her. She claimed it was just water, but when he snatched it from her, he discovered it was alcohol. Furious, he warned her and even threatened to take her to a therapist if she continued drinking. The next day, Hawa hurried out of her compound calling her Uber driver, but he was taking too long and she was already running late. Just then, Rose's boss, Mr. William, came to pick Rose up. On the way, Rose wanted William to give Hawa a ride too, but Hawa quickly declined to avoid issues. When Hawa finally got to work, she realized she had mistakenly taken Rose's laptop while Rose had hers. Her superior yelled at her, fearing she might lose her promotion, which made Hawa rush back out to retrieve her laptop. Meanwhile, Rose had already mistakenly shown Hawa's project to her boss, who was blown away by the work. He immediately asked Rose to call Hawa to his office. On her way, Hawa bumped into William, who had never seen her before since she was just a junior staff. He warned her to be careful and moved on. Moments later, Hawa entered William's office. He showered her with praises and offered her a new job, promising to pay her 500,000 naira monthly, along with a car and a house. Compare that to the 150,000 she was currently earning, and you can imagine how shocked she was. Still, she asked for time to think about it. Back at her office, Hawa wasted no time and resigned. Her superior was left shocked and speechless. When she got home, Rose was overjoyed that Hawa had finally quit. But Hawa told her she wasn't going to work with William either. Rose tried convincing her that William was a very good man, but Hawa remained firm in her decision. The following day, at Lorenzo's office, the same lady who had earlier taken credit for Hawa's work confessed that Hawa was the real brain behind the project. Lorenzo was furious and threw her out. That evening, the lady went to beg Hawa for forgiveness and pleaded with her to return to the office, saying her own job was at stake. Hawa forgave her, but still refused to return. She had to meet Lorenzo, who was waiting in his car for her decision. When she refused, Lorenzo drove off in anger. The next day, William showed up at Hawa's place. She was shocked to see him, but welcomed him in. During their chat, Hawa explained that she couldn't work for him. William told her that Rose had already informed him, and he understood that she wanted to start her own business. Just then, Lorenzo also arrived, determined to win Hawa over. Despite offering her more money, Hawa still refused. That moment, both William and Lorenzo were locked in competition for her attention. After much argument and persuasion, Lorenzo left, deeply disappointed. When he got home, Lorenzo had already given up on Hawa and made up his mind to look for someone else, but his sister kept nagging him to pursue Hawa, insisting she was the only one who could help them secure the deal. For her, it wasn't about business. She only wanted revenge on William, no matter how Lorenzo achieved it. Meanwhile, Lorenzo was seen stranded, making several calls to find a good designer to work with, but none of them met his standards, leaving him completely frustrated. The next day, Hawa and her friend Rose were seen working together. Later that day, William showed up at Hawa's house. Rose had already told him how Hawa was struggling to get what she wanted. Without wasting time, William made a single phone call that solved her problem instantly and put a smile on her face. Afterwards, the two of them chatted as they walked together. As if that wasn't enough, Lorenzo also came by to apologize with a gift. At first, Hawa didn't want to accept it, but when she noticed he was being genuine, she let him in. They talked again about working with him, but Hawa declined, saying she didn't want to be caught between his fight with William. That was when Lorenzo realized she hadn't accepted William's offer either. After much discussion, he left, giving her time to think about it. The next morning, Hawa was about to step out when a man came into the compound to tell her that William had ordered him to be her driver for the day. Hawa was shocked and tried to call William, but he didn't answer. Left with no choice, she went with the man. 2 days later, Hawa was in her room when Rose walked in with a package filled with food. Rose teased her, saying she was now the reigning queen of the town, but Hawa wasn't comfortable with the idea until her friend told her to simply enjoy the attention of both bachelors while it lasted. The next afternoon, William was waiting outside for Hawa. She came downstairs looking stunning, and the two went out together. As time passed, Hawa began spending time with both William and Lorenzo, receiving gifts and being taken out shopping by them. Back at Lorenzo's house, his sister wasn't happy with how close he was becoming to Hawa. She accused him of falling in love with her, but Lorenzo brushed it off, assuring her he knew exactly what he was doing. At William's office, Rose came in to inform him that someone was waiting to see him. As she was leaving, William stopped her and mentioned that he would be taking Hawa out later that day. Curious, Rose asked if he was in love with her friend. William replied that he simply liked Hawa's personality. Rose smiled and left. Later that evening, Hawa stepped out of her compound and met William. He admired her dress before they both got into his car. Just then, Lorenzo arrived, blocking William's car with his own. Both men got out, ready to fight, each commanding Hawa to get into his car. Wow, this is incredible. What exactly is going on between these two? And will this fight ever end? Stick with me, let's find out together. In the end, Hawa chose to go with William. He took her to a private restaurant, thus booking the entire place just for them. There, he asked her to be his girlfriend. While they were chatting, Hawa asked about his feud with Lorenzo and why they hated each other so much. William finally opened up. 2 years earlier, Lorenzo and William had been very close friends, always doing things together. It was even to the point that William began dating Lorenzo's sister, Lena, who unfortunately was an alcoholic. The trouble started one evening when William and Lena went out together. On their way back, Lena, already drunk, insisted on driving. William tried everything to stop her, but she refused, claiming she wasn't drunk. Tragically, she hit a woman with the car. Thankfully, William was there, but Lena fled the scene, leaving William to face the consequences. He reported the case to the police, which led to Lena's arrest. That decision made Lorenzo hate him, accusing him of betrayal. Hearing this story left Hawa heartbroken. Later that day, she shared it with Rose and declared her determination to reconcile William and Lorenzo, despite her friend's warnings. The following day, Hawa went to Lorenzo's house to speak with him, but instead, she first encountered his sister, holding another bottle of alcohol and throwing harsh words at Hawa. Moments later, Lorenzo himself came out, surprised to see her. They chatted briefly before he received a call and stepped outside to answer it. After Lorenzo left, Hawa tried talking to Lena, encouraging her to see a therapist who could help her stop drinking. But Lena got furious and, in her rage, stabbed Hawa with a sharp object. Lorenzo rushed back in and, seeing what his sister had done, was devastated. He quickly carried Hawa to the hospital. At the hospital, William was furious with Lorenzo. Moments later, the doctor came out and broke the devastating news. The stab wound had caused serious damage, and Hawa might never walk again. Everyone was shattered by the news. When Lorenzo got home, he finally realized his sister desperately needed help. He immediately called a therapist to come take her away, even though she begged and promised never to drink again. This time, Lorenzo had made up his mind. The next day at the hospital, William was by Hawa's side when Lorenzo walked in to speak with her. William excused them, and Lorenzo sincerely apologized to Hawa. The following day, Lorenzo was with Hawa at the hospital, cheering her up, when William also came in with flowers. After they chatted for a while, Lorenzo stepped out to make a call. As William was about to leave, Lorenzo stopped him. Admitting he had been wrong to hate him, Lorenzo reconciled with William. After a heartfelt conversation, they both reunited as friends, just like old times. 2 days later, Hawa was discharged and brought home, with both William and Lorenzo by her side. The next day, the three of them were seen together. Hawa urged them to make peace and work as a team. Afterwards, they all went to the dining table to eat. William then excused himself, leaving Lorenzo and Hawa to spend some time alone. That same night, the three went out together on a special outing to bond and spend quality time. As days passed, Lorenzo and William grew closer again. One day, while the two were playing a game, Hawa walked in. They suddenly went quiet, acting suspicious. Curious, she demanded to know what was going on. Finally, they handed her an envelope. When she read it, she was overjoyed. It was a contract to work with the state government. Hawa was filled with excitement. And as if that wasn't enough, they surprised her with a brand new car. Overwhelmed with emotion, she immediately called her friend to share the good news. Filled with joy, Hawa gave both Lorenzo and William a big hug of appreciation. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and drop your thoughts in the comment section. And of course, remember to subscribe to this channel for more fascinating movies. Bye for now.